Right, Bo, a week is a long time in politics. A long, long time. What has happened? What has happened? Well, Ben Habib released this today. My team and I have been working furiously, they say, for the last few months to establish the foundations of a political party which is capable of saving our United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. I'm delighted to launch that party today, Advance UK. The party will stand for the entire country in all its parts and for all its people. We will fight for nation, freedom of speech, democracy, and equality before the law. We will not flinch. We will not pander to false narratives designed to damage our country. We will be for the British people and by the British people. The party will itself be democratic. We will assemble the brightest and bravest in our college and executive. They will work tirelessly, without fear or favour, to formulate the policies and recruit the candidates required to fulfil our mission. If our country is to be saved, it must be saved by its people. No one person is capable of doing so. Only by assembling the best and bravest can we succeed. Today, I am calling on you to join our party. Our first goal is to achieve 30,000 members. We're discounting, blah, blah, blah. When it is, we will have the required support to become a fully fledged party. So I'm guessing they mean like pay their fees and things like that. I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you. When we get to 30,000 members, I will donate £100,000 to the party to ensure we have the firepower to move forward. So we also, just before we kind of get your thoughts on it, also released this. This is a party video.
Hello, folks. Now, some of you will know me as Ben Habib, the political commentator. Others as Ben Habib, the former deputy leader of Reform UK, as I was. Ben Habib, the Brexit Party MEP, as I was. But today, I address you in a new capacity. I address you as the leader in waiting of Advance UK, a new political force on the British political landscape, a new political party. So why a new political party now? Well, the simple truth of the matter is that the United Kingdom is in deep, deep trouble. We face multiple existential threats, constitutionally, culturally, economically. We are on the precipice, if not over it. And none of the political parties on the British landscape at the moment offer the solutions required to save our country. It is imperative, therefore, that a new political force comes into being. And that's why Advance UK is being launched. So what does Advance UK stand for? It's very simple. We stand for a proud, independent, prosperous United Kingdom. And how do we get that? The first is we stand for the...
Shall we... I'm just going to stop it there and just kind of get your initial thoughts, really, because it's quite a long video. I mean, 6.5 minutes. You know, this, I thought we'd just kind of interject a little bit there. So you've got the first bit. You got the, I don't know what you want to say, the sort of advert, I guess, with his announcement, and then we're getting into the sort of video. Is he sort of explaining why and things like that and what they stand for? What do you think? What's your thoughts on this, good sir? Because I know you have interviewed him. So I guess
it's been in the pipeline for a while, hasn't it? Whether Ben Habib or Rupert Lowe or both of them will make any sort of movement or party. I think Ben Habib already had some sort of other organisation that wasn't a full party. I think it was called Britannia or something.
So that entity is exactly the same as this, and they've changed their name.
Okay.
So whatever the previous party was that he had established or taken control of, he bought. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it wasn't that long ago. It was a couple of months back, wasn't it? That is now this, which is confirmed on their official page, and it's sort of crossed over because any member of the previous one is now a member of this party as well.
Okay. So yeah, I don't think Advance UK is a great name. But other than that, yeah, I mean, good, right, great. It's been in the pipeline for a while. I mean, we do need other parties, because whereas Reform have revealed themselves to be nothing but a containment project, just milquetoast liberal, nothing, empty bag boomers, civnats. So they're no good. So we need a party actually of the right. So if this does do that, then great. If it actually sticks up for sort of nativist interests, great. Yeah, right. I'm all for it if it does it. I mean, what are your feelings?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not exactly like this came out of left field, is it? You know, we said that this had been in the pipeline for a long time, too long, quite frankly. I think that this is something which should have been. I think that this should have been established a significantly long time ago. There was no reason to have this, I don't know, sort of stewing for as long as needs be. As long as it was, shall I say. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Look, at the end of the day, when it comes to political parties, the excuse that people have had thrown around, you know, as to why there should be nothing else outside of Reform was the same excuse people were given to not have Reform exist, which was, but this will just split the vote. And it's like, right, but that didn't happen. They did it with Reform and the Conservatives. Conservatives died and Reform grew, and now, you know, Reform is effectively leading the polls. So the whole sort of thing of like, well, it's going to split the vote and blah, blah, blah. Well, if Reform doesn't service the right-wing sentiments of the natives, which are pretty massive, to be fair, that's what people want. There's a hunger for those types of politics, that sort of leaning of politics anyway. It has been for decades, like decades upon decades. It's ridiculous. Then, yeah, let them die. Have someone else come in. Have someone else push them, right? Because this is the thing. You know, it's not going to split the vote. I mean, the amount of people that were annoyed with Reform when they just came out, and Nigel came out and was like, yeah, well, we can't do mass deportations. It's politically impossible. Oh, well done, Nigel. Well done, mate. Cool. Excellent. Well, I just guess we'll just be taken over by Muslims then, I guess. Fantastic. Great. How did they get here? Because it was politically possible for them to arrive. Why is it not politically impossible? You know, why is it not politically possible to remove them? I mean, it is. You're just refusing to because you're a wet loser. But if you then had a party to come out and say, yeah, well, we'll do that. But then he's forced to start changing his rhetoric or reveal himself to be the complete loser that he is, which will probably what's going to happen. So it's not a bad thing. I think the argument of who's going to split the vote. So,
yeah, and so be it anyway. Yeah. Yeah. The whole concept that it's terrible to split the vote or splitting the vote. Oh, don't split the vote. Oh, no. Get all of that completely out of your mind. No, I'll split the vote if I want. No, I'm going to vote for what I believe in. People that are worried about splitting the vote are like party people, party apparatchiks. Well, don't split the vote unless it damages the Conservative Party. Don't split the vote. It might damage the Labour Party. Yeah, good. Yeah, I don't care. Don't split the vote. It might damage the Reform Party. Yeah, so... yeah, good. So anyway, this thing, hopefully it will be the sort of the lightning rod that everyone can go to. Everyone that's to the right of the Conservatives or Reform in any way. Hopefully, maybe they can all convalesce around this. Because there are a few parties, aren't there? There's Homeland, and there's the English Democrats and the SDP, and there's like English Constitutional Party, and there's like there's PA, isn't there? They're not a full party, I don't think, Patriot Alternative, but nonetheless, there's those guys. There's all the Tommy crew, right? There's the endless Tommy crew. There's all the New Culture Forum types, the David Starkey types, the Lotus Eaters types. Maybe everyone that's 1 inch to the right of Nigel. Who's just trying to gatekeep into silence for the rest of time. Maybe we can all crowd around this, and this can be the vehicle for it. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's keep watching this spiel here, because I think it's gonna be, we don't have to watch the whole thing, but it's interesting to hear it from the horse's mouth, right?
The nation state of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, in all its parts and for all its people. At the heart of our constitutional foundation are the Acts of Union 1800, and we will make sure that those acts are observed completely. We will stand for freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is critical to democracy. Without freedom of speech, simply you can't have debates, and you therefore can't have democracy. We will ensure that our children are not indoctrinated. We will ensure that the political views you hold won't land you in jail. It is absolutely vital for the progression of any civilization to be able to air their views without fear and without favor. Freedom of speech also will be at the heart of our political philosophy. Which brings me to democracy. No country can succeed other than through democracy. It may not be a perfect system, but it is frankly the best system that the world has ever produced. And we used to be the mother of all democracies. But as a result of our freedom of speech being set aside, burdens coming into British law from international law, memberships of supranational institutions, the giving away of power from Parliament, these entities, as well as domestic quangos, we are just a shred of the democratic force that we used to be. And if we wish to be prosperous, it is essential that we restore our democracy. So the other principle by which Advance UK will stand is the removal of international and supranational laws from our political fabric, from our constitutional fabric, the removal of all these quangos and these so-called experts, and the returning of power to Parliament, where we can hold our parliamentarians properly to account. And what we must remember is that those of us who are in public service are only in public service to serve the people. The people don't serve us, we serve the people.
So I'm just going to stop it there, because I like everything that he's saying, right? And I do like everything that he's saying. A few things that sort of, point out to me there that I dislike, that I think could be, I'm optimistic on with further clarification, right? So I'm not going to completely poo-poo it. The concept of democracy only works when you can hold your politicians to account. We can't. We haven't. It's been decades upon decades of asking for lower immigration, and they've done the exact opposite, and nothing has happened. No one's in prison. No one's in jail. No one's, had their pensions removed, right? These people are living it up large with incredible sums of money, and they've completely betrayed what they got voted in on. And so we actually haven't. We haven't been able to hold any politician to account. We never have. And that fundamentally needs to change. I think actually a political party of the right should adopt what and not everyone's for this, but I think it's brilliant. Adopt what the Australians do, where they force referendums. You must legally come out and vote in a referendum for some pretty large things. And then it's legally binding. That's what I would like, because then you can't argue with that. Like, I guess unless you mess around with it somehow. But how would you be able to ignore tens of millions of people going, yes, no more immigration, please? You just wouldn't be able to, would you? So I don't know. There's a few things there. The other thing was freedom of speech and children not to be indoctrinated. Well, indoctrinated in what? Because currently we have Islam here. It shouldn't be here. It never should have been in the West, and it is. So you can't have freedom of speech whilst also trying to say that you don't want your children to be indoctrinated. You actually must coordinate an element of controlled speech. You literally have to a degree anyway, when you have subversives in your midst. And it's a really difficult conversation to have with people on the right, because, the right leans into more liberal approaches to things, and they try and shy away from some of the authoritarian element. But when your country's been completely destroyed and subverted, you do actually have to have those mechanisms in place, because you can't fall back on the more sort of liberal middle of the road approach, because you still have subversives in your midst, and so you can't fall back on that. Anyway, there's a few things. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a very interesting point. It is always difficult, isn't it? The fine line to be walking, the tightrope to be walking between wanting a free society and combating something like Islam. So you want freedom of speech because it's great and it's part of our tradition, but that same freedom of speech allows our enemies and the enemy within and fifth columnists to do their evil work. So yeah, you like the idea of freedom of religion. Well, what if one of those religions is trying to destroy you? So yeah, so you will have to sacrifice some freedom of religion then, if you're going to combat it. You'll have to have limits on speech if we're to stop insane Islamists from preaching or whatever it is. But yeah, no. Anyway, I like what he's saying so far in the last couple of minutes that was played there. I like the sentiment. Of course, everything would have to be fleshed out, but this is only a short video. But you know, yeah, no, don't disagree with a single word he's saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, Elon Musk has come out.
Bravo! Reminds me of George from Blackadder the Fourth. Permission to yell bravo and annoyingly loud volumes, sir. Bravo! Good.
So
I think Elon got on with Ben Habib, didn't he? I think he got on with Rupert Lowe and Ben Habib and didn't like Nige. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, pretty much from what I think has been sort of floated around.
Imagine if he gave Advance like 70 million quid or 100 million quid. Or something.
Yeah. So this is introducing Advance UK. The other thing that I didn't really like was just the rhetoric of, for all people of the UK. No, not all people, Ben. Sorry, mate. Because not all people in the UK are equal. Again, we've allowed hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people that shouldn't be here. So no, they shouldn't have access to democracy because they weren't democratically let into the country. Those millions of people, I'm all for them not having the right to democratically vote for anything because they don't have the mandate to be here. No, not all people. No, not all people. No. I'm happy. I'm happy to lay down the authoritarian banhammer right on that. I do not care. Do not care. They were not democratically let in. In fact, it was the complete opposite. No, not all people. Not all people in this country are equal. I don't shy away from saying that. There are people that were born and bred here, and there were people that just parasitically invaded. No, be gone. No, not all people. But again, I'm sure that's just a turn of phrase from Ben. To be fair.
It's one of the most, in the most broad sense, one of the most subversive things that's been foisted on us in the 21st century, or the woke era, is inclusivity. The idea of inclusion is sort of fundamentally good in all contexts. That to not be inclusive is a tantamount to evil or something. Like, no, I deny that. No, I'm exclusive. No, some things are exclusive to some peoples. No, I don't want to. I don't need to be inclusive. Why should I? Why should I tolerate the intolerant? Why should I tolerate my enemies who want me dead and stuff?
No,
let's have a bit more exclusivity, please.
Well, the West became the West, the greatest group of societies and cultures. Well, it's kind of almost a unified culture, really, but you get my drift. The world has ever known because of exclusivity, because we weren't inclusive. Actually, thank you very much. That's how we became what we hold dear today. So there's some other just bits and pieces here. Just the structure. So you've got members, the college. So members, obviously, members elect members of the college. They may also remove any member of the board, including the leader. So it is a democratic party, which is nice. The college, they are independent of the party executive and they elect the leader. The college may remove the leader for a vote of no confidence. College members may also participate in policy making, candidate selection, and branch activities. Leadership, who manage the party, lead campaign strategies, oversee branch activities, and participate in policy making and candidate selection. Board of directors, who ensure governance is, in accordance with the constitution, oversee the leadership and approve policies and candidates. Branches, they coordinate members' campaign activities across the UK. I mean, I like the structure. I feel like this is a direct and justified stab at Nigel and reform. It's just it's out and out stating, well, this is what we are, this is what we're working with. There you go, straight away. Whereas reform's always been a bit like, yeah, maybe in future you'll actually be part of a political party. Yeah, maybe in future you'll be able to vote Nigel out. Maybe. Psych. Not going to happen. It's basically what they've been doing. So that's it, really. I mean, that's kind of the news, I guess.
It's good. If it can be a real party and it is based, then good. That's what I say.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a watch this space situation.